Vinland Saga. It's about violence, it's about peace, and most importantly, it's about change. Going from season 1 to season 2, you might be thinking to yourself, am I even watching the same show? No, but yes. A lot of you Vinland Saga season 2 haters like to pretend that Thorfinn's change was completely random, out of the blue even. What do you mean? Thor's was like this every single episode he was in. Hey son, you know that like killing thing, ruthlessly killing people? That's kind of bad, so you shouldn't do it. I'm just letting you know, bro. So don't pretend that this was just some random event. But to be fair, I was a little skeptical as well when I heard the action was going to be cut. Because look at this. The angles, the cinematography, the animation, all of it was perfection. I understand losing out on all of that hurts, but we get something even better. A beautiful dynamic story. A story about people, flawed people. That's what makes Vinland Saga so good. They don't feel like characters. They feel human. They don't do the most badass logical thing like in every other anime. They have emotions and they're controlled by them. By the way, spoilers for season 1 and season 2 of Vinland Saga. Let's talk about change. One of the most focused points in season 2 of Vinland Saga is change. Season 1 Thorfinn and Season 2 Thorfinn are almost completely different people. In Season 1 he was completely filled with rage, hyper-focused on one thing, killing Askeladd. So when that one thing his whole entire life was dedicated to was taken away, he was left empty. And that emptiness had to be filled, so he had to make a change. The entire season itself is about change. They're all sold into slavery and have to adapt to their new surroundings. Some become happy, some become angry, and some just wait for the next change they're gonna have to make. People sleep on this character so much, but Omar is the perfect example. He spends his life trying to be an alpha warrior, but when it comes down to it, when he finally has to kill, he realizes he ain't built for this shit. Being a Viking just simply isn't for him. He swallows his pride and his ego and just admits to being a fraud. To most he's just a side character, but to me he expresses what the show wants to express most. It's okay to change. Almost every character in the series has changed in some way, except Thorkel. Thorkel's still Thorkel. Moving on to Canute, he has one of the best character development I've ever seen in anime. From the innocent young prince to the sociopathic king who will do anything to win. Canute in season 2 serves as the mirror image to Thorfinn. Askeladd ended up killing both Thorfinn and Canute's dads in different circumstances. They are complete polar opposites in the world of Vinland Saga. When Thorfinn is peaceful, Canute is violent. When Thorfinn is kind, Canute is ruthless. Canute is not the villain, he is not evil. He just wants a peaceful world, but he doesn't care how many people have to suffer to get that. Every episode you think Canute can't get any worse, he can't go down a darker path than this, but then he kills his own blood brother for power. He's haunted by his dead father who he betrayed for being too ruthless, but he's becoming just like him. Canute's about to make more people suffer, but then he meets his opposite. He meets Thorfinn, and the chemistry these two guys have with each other forces another reaction, forces another change. Canute doesn't give up on his peaceful world. He tries to achieve it without always being on the dark path. Another thing I love about this show is that there's no true villain. It's all about perspective. One person might look evil, act evil, but in their defense, they have their own reasons for doing things. Most characters are trying to make their life and the people around them's lives better. But by doing that, it ends up hurting other people, and they're looked at as the villains. I also hear that a lot of people think that Vinland Saga season 2 is boring because of the slower pacing. But the pacing needs to be slower, so the connection between the characters feels more real. And by having the characters on screen for so long, you the viewer gets more invested in them. When a bad thing happens to a character, you feel sad. When a good thing happens to a character, you feel happy, all because you invested the time into the character. All characters in anime have emotion, but the characters in Vinland Saga have so much more. Every decision they make, everything they do is based on emotion. One of my favorite parts of Vinland Saga season 2 was when Ketil snaps. Ketil is the master of the farm and he's portrayed as a nice caring person, even to slaves. There are various different moments where he wants to show mercy to those who have wronged him, but throughout the time on the farm you can see stress is slowly bubbling up for him, until one day, the one he trusted most betrayed him in his eyes. So this is where the emotion comes in. This is where he does something illogical. The girl he loves, he cherishes, he beats her to a pulp like he's an Andrew Tate fan. This just fundamentally goes against his character up until now. But just like real life, us humans are controlled by emotion, and from that point on, he's a completely different character. His mental strength completely diminishes, he becomes almost insane. His decisions are hurting him and the people around him, but he can't help himself. He feels despair because of the betrayal. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that what makes Thorfinn so special in season 2 is that he can control his emotions now. He's no longer a slave to anger. If you told me 2 weeks ago that I was gonna sit down and watch multiple hours of a nigga farming, I would have told you to go fuck yourself. Vinland Saga makes farming fun. The dialogue between the slaves, the politics between the hierarchy of slaves, normal people, and slave master, and the banter between Thorfinn and Einar. Talking about Einar, he is one of the goats of the series. His backstory is that he was living a perfectly normal life until one day Vikings invaded. They murdered and pillaged his entire village. He lost his entire family that day and was sold into slavery. He has a lot of hate for the Vikings and pointless murder. And with all of that being said, when Thorfinn tells him about his backstory, he is fuming. There are various points where he just wants to kill Thorfinn for what he used to do. But that's what makes it truly beautiful when he finally learns to accept Thorfinn. He realized Thorfinn has changed from the heartless monster he used to be. Vinland Saga Season 2 is all about change. Some people believe that people can't change, that their core being will always remain the same. I don't believe that at all. I just believe that deep down, most people don't want to change. There's a difference. With such a drastic shift in energy between season 1 and season 2, I don't know what to expect for season 3, but I'm still looking forward to it. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I know this is different from my usual videos, but sometimes when a show really resonates with me, I like to just sit down and tell you my thoughts on it. Vinland Saga has so much potential to be a masterpiece, and I can't wait to see it happen. These types of videos are a one-off. I'll be back to memeing in my next video. So yeah, see ya.